Hello everyone. Now I'm going to start a tutorial for you all online of what we'll be doing this week as a session wise for CAD to realize your range plan and how to digitize this. So now I'm going to open Illustrator. In this I just made some things that you've already done with me during my creative prints development. So in this, if you see, there are some motifs. I have some tropical leaves, I have some triangle, I have distorted triangle, botanic leaves, and then I just made it a repeat here by changing the colors. Same goes here. I also lowered the opacity of some triangles, like the opacity here is 40%. Same I did with this distorted triangle. I also repeated my botanic leaves and I've just done colors on them. And if you see, they're all in a family of green. Now this is something I would call as all the things are combined so that I'm going to create a pattern repeat file. Now you know how to do a pattern repeat, right? I just drag all of this, I go to object, and then I go to pattern, and I just say make. Now after this, you will see dialog box or you'll see something like this on your screen. I just did some adjustments here. You know what exactly that is. So after everything, I just got up and I'm ready with a print which is like this, which looks like this. Now this is a print repeat with no background. If you see in this, there is no background because I want my background to be clear, transparent, so that when I place it on my garments, I can change the color of the garments. So the prints also have a background color changed. Now, if you see, I've made three color combinations of this. Now, if you see, I've written Pantone numbers here. Now, how do I get them? So it's very easy. What you do is basically, if I have a print which is like a transparent, what I can do is I can copy the whole rectangle and I can paste it in front, and I can go to the fill here, change the color to whatever color I like. Let's say if I say it's orange. Now, how to do a Pantone shade? Now I'm using Pantone, which is Pantone Fashion plus Home Interiors, which is coated, which means shiny fabrics. Now what I do is I go to my swatches panel. On the swatches panel, I go to my options panel here. Then I go to open swatch library, and then I go to color books, and then I go to Pantone solid coated. Now when I say solid coated, this is going to open like this. If it doesn't open like this, in yours it might be showing something like this, or maybe something like this. Now this is nothing, it's just going to the options and changing the view. Now I have a small list here because I can also read the Pantone numbers here. Now I know if you have a proper color board in your mood board and you finalize your colors, you can select the nearest colors from here. If you're not able to view this, we can just also go to large thumbnail view and select whatever color you want. For example, if I like, let's say, purple, a shade of purple, so I just click that color and I can go to the options again. I can just say small list or large list. By that I can get the exact number of that Pantone, which is 7677C. So what I do is I'll just copy this by pressing Alt. I'll write 7677C. So that is my Pantone for the background. Now I'll just click this. Remember we had copied the pattern file and now we have a fill which is of Pantone 7677C. I just right click, I do arrange, and then I just go to send it to back. Now my print has a different background. Now what if I want to change the background color here? So what I can do is I can just click that pattern, or I can just click and drag everything. Now on the layers panel, if you don't see layers, go to window, you will see layers here. In the layers you will see that my rectangle which is violet, it's highlighted here. Now what if just want to change the color of the rectangle? So what I can do is I can just not select everything. By layers I can identify that okay, this rectangle is this rectangle is the orange, this is blue, So what I'll do is on the right side there you'll see a circle here. Now click the space next to the circle, which means it's going to highlight blue, which means now the purple rectangle is highlighted. And then I can always go to my other Pantone colors if I want, let's say green. I change it to green, arrange center back. Sorry, I just select the rectangle, which is, I would say, this rectangle. Okay. And there will be a rectangle downstairs. I'll just change the color here to any color if you want, and then it changes. You can also press from here, it can change colors like this. So whatever color you choose, you just add the number down, like 806. So I'll just write Pantone 806. So like this, I have a range of color options, or I can say colorways. Now this is how you do colors for the backgrounds, which will be the fabric, the base of your garments. Now what if I want to change the color of the print? So what I can do is, I can select the print pattern, and then I can go to my swatches panel. I can go to, like, maybe I can just select effect, or let's make it easy. What I can do is I can just simply click on the swatches options, and I can say open swatch library. For example, if you want something in earth tone, so earthy tone, or something, let's say, nature type of a color which has, let's say, foliage type. So I click foliage, so you get this group of colors. Now what I can do is I can select the print, which is the pattern file that we created, not the print combined. I'm talking about the pattern that we just created. It's a pattern file, right? I'll click any of this colors combo. Maybe I can just say this one. And what I can do is I can just drag it, or not necessarily, just click that. You'll get that in the swatches panel here. Now if you see, it is here, it was not there. For example, if I go back again, if I select the first one, the dark green, mid light green, and the lightest and the lightest, so I'll just select that, and you will get that in your swatches panel. Click on this swatches panel. It has to be on the swatches panel also. When I click on the swatches panel, you will get an option here to edit or apply color group. Select that pattern, select this group of colors, and just say edit this pattern. Now when I click that, whatever colors were there in the group, the four colors have been applied randomly, or I would say, yeah, I would say randomly, because there is no option to think. But what you can do here is you can just change colors here. Now I can say that I want all the colors. So I have all the colors here, which says, when I say all the colors, it says it has all the colors that is in the print. Now I know what color to change. I can just double click here, or maybe you can just change it to, let's say, pink. So some of the parts have changed it to pink. Now do you want to add any color to the current harmony? I'll say yes, because I want to change this dark green into something else. So I can click here, I can change it to pink. So wherever there were dark green, it got pink now. Let's say we have a lot of pale pastel pinks here. So I'll just click here, click on the area, the space next to it. It's gonna ask you again, do you want to add any color to the current harmony? I'll say yes. And then I can change the color. Okay, I don't know why it's not happening. Okay, one second. Yeah, it's happening now. So I can see, let's say I change the color of this to something in yellows. So it got changed. So that is how you basically change the color of any artwork. Now, if I want, what I can do is I can also, if there are groups here which were already there in the swatches panel, you can just click that. It'll turn into that colors. See. Now I'm happy with this color combo. I'll just click OK. So this is how you recolor your print artwork, which was this, into this. I hope you understood this of coloring the artworks. It's as easy as that. Let's say I want to change this color artwork, which is on the pink background. I want to change the print color. So I select that, and what I can do is, so I select the artwork, and then you will get a pop-up in the dialog box here which says recolor artwork. I can just directly click here and just select from colors auto to all, so that it gives you all the colors that is in that print. It can be an infinite number of colors that is in that print. Now if you can also lower it by, let's say you just want to use 3 colors. So I'll just use 3 colors here. So I'll change the hues here. Let's say I change it to reds, and the greens I want to change into yellows, and the greens I want to change it into, let's say, pinks, or maybe something else, let's say blues, purples. I'm okay, I'm done. So this is our recolor artwork, which is having the same elements of your print, and every color is changed. Now if you see, there's only 3 colors. There's purple, there are reds, there are yellows. If you remember, when we go to recolor artwork, we had selected only 3 from here, which is these 3 colors. You can also select the whole artwork if you want it to be in 2 colors. So I can select everything like in reds, and the others it can be in, let's say, green. This is how you change the color of the art. So this looks exciting. Now after this is ready, you have your patterns ready. You just have to do nothing. Once this colors are ready, you don't have to change everything again and again. You can just make a rectangle and just select your eyedropper and just click on this. This changes that. If I select eyedropper, I select this first one, it again puts the same color changed. So no need to edit each and everything again and again. You have to create a pattern again and again. Now next step after this is, you have to take a template or whatever you have, or what you will be designing in a rain sheet. Now what I want you all to do is, I want you all to trace this whole dress. Like for example, I'm taking a dress. It can be any sketch of yours, according to the mood board or the inspiration or the rain sheet that you're developing. But for now, till the time your rain sheet is not ready, you can just practice, which is already there in the internet. Now I'll just take a pen tool and I'll just trace it half. So you know all of this exercise as we done previously. I'll just put it in the center. Now this at times might not be in the center, no worries. At least we know that we're technically correct. So I'll take my pen tool and I'll just start tracing the components. Now if you see, there's this component which is separate. Now if I see there's a raglan sleeve, now I'll trace only till the raglan sleeve, something like this, and up the waist belt and go back to here. Now this first tracing is done. I'll go to my stroke panel. If there is no strokes, go to windows and you'll see strokes here. Now I'm gonna put up a weight here. My outline is green. I can change it to red for now, so it's clearly visible. So I'll trace this. I'll also go to pen tool. Now to start the trace again from here, what I can do is, now you know the sleeves are different, the bodice is different, but what happens when I just use my pen tool here and I can start, if I want to start to continue, this gets deleted. So to avoid that mistake, what you can do is, like I explained in the class, you add an anchor point on the line which is common to both the bodies and the sleeves. Let's say I add this. I added an anchor point. It can be anywhere, not necessary it should be in the middle. It can be anywhere. I'll just click on that particular anchor point, say Control C, Control F, so that I just copy that. I'm using my arrow keys to move them. Now I can use my, I'll keep that back Now I can use my pen tool and start tracing the sleeves. It's very important that always and always you have to complete your sleeves. That's it. I am done with this. Now you have to trace this belt again. So either you take a rectangle and shape it, or you can do the way that I did previously. Now I took a rectangle. It might be transparent because there is no film, no this thing. I can select my eyedropper and I can click on this, so it becomes the red. Same again, and I can use my white arrow, which is direct selection tool, and click on each and every anchor point and just reshape it to the curves that I am tracing. See, there is no curve here, there is all straight. So when I select anchor point, maybe this or this, you will get this highlighted. So I will convert that into a smooth curve. Once this is smooth, I'll press Alt and I will bring it straight. Press Alt and I will do it like this. See what happens if I don't press Alt. Both the handles they change simultaneously and it's very difficult to achieve the curve. So it's always better to press Alt and change or make the curves individually. So I am done with this belt. Now if you see, chances are that you might get a thicker line here. It's very visible. What I can do is I can select this and do convert to curves, press this thing Alt, sorry, press Alt and I do this, press Alt and I go like this. Yeah, I'm done. Now let's trace the down part. So again, I'm just gonna do the first technique, which is adding anchor point here. Selecting the white arrow, selecting the anchor point, Control C, Control F, move it down. So you know that this is separate now, and keep it back. Take your pen tool, select the anchor point of that new particular line that we copied, and just start tracing it. The best part is just start tracing it half. I'm holding shift so that I get a proper straight line. Now this shape is complete. Sorry. Okay, I just mistakenly made an extra this thing. I can always delete this. And see, it's not connected. If you see, this two is not connected. So for example, if you have a broken line like this, how do you connect? So I'll just separate this. Now you'll see there's two different anchor points. Select one anchor point, hold shift, select the other anchor point, right click and just say joint. So now this is joint. I'll get it back here to place. Now this is ready. I'll just alter little changes for the neckline because I don't want the neckline to be very sharp. So Alt, make it straight, till straight the neckline. Let's see. Delete unnecessary anchor point because then they will make your artwork very sharp. Yes. So I just traced half of this thing. Just what I do now is first of all I'll go to the layers and make sure where this image is. So it's here. If you see, I've selected that image which has this bounding box blue color, which means on the layers it's gonna show a blue square, which means that is the layer that we are working on. Just click on the empty box next to your eye, which means it's gonna lock it down. Now this is locked down. I'll just select only the traced pen tool, not the guideline, only the traced pen tool part, Go to my reflect tool under the rotate tool, hold alt, click in the center of the guides, and I'll just click transform objects, not transform patterns, and a vertical flip. Preview is on, make sure preview is always on, and create a copy. So I have a copy. Now I'll just move this guide aside. Now if you see, I'll just hold shift and click on these two components. Take my shape builder tool, just click and drag so that it merges. Same for the belt part, select this two belt by holding shift, shape builder, merge it. For the skirts, select the two skirts by holding shift, take a shape builder tool and then merge it. So I have a separate body of this separate shape, I would say, for all of this components of the dress. Now to make the back neckline, what I'll simply do is I'll not make the whole thing. I'll just make an anchor point, say an anchor point, I'll just make a curve like this. That's it. Select everything. Make sure you select everything as in only the bodice, because this back neckline curve that we made is connected with the front neckline curve. So I'll just select both the things, go to shape builder, select a color and just fill it in center. Now this is a shape altogether, a separate shape. You might get the spiky anchor nodes like this. Go to stroke, make sure the cap is round and the corner is round. So yep, they're gone now. This is how it's gonna look. Now after this, you know that each and everything is separate. I can color them separately. Each and everything is all separate. This is very important. After this is very, what you can do is I just undo everything. I'm gonna create this style lines for illustration part, which I can create. So I'll just use my pen tool and just create like a line like this. If you see, these lines are a little thin and they're thick and then thin again. It's like a stroke. So I'll go to my stroke options, and down there you'll select the profile and you select this. So this is how it's gonna look. I can make one more here, little curve, and then this. Press enter to end your pen tool lines, and just change this to the strokes. Same, I'll do it here. So select my pen tool, make a curve, change the profile to something like this. You can copy this by pressing Alt, flip this by going to properties. If properties is not there, go to Windows properties and just flip this and keep it somewhere here. And then select this, change it to the shape that you want. Okay, inside this. I'm happy with this. Now make sure all the style lines that you did right now, all the strokes that you did, select all of them by pressing shift, holding shift and selecting all of these four style lines. Right click them, arrange, bring to front. They should always be on top of every shape that you created. Okay, so I'm happy with this. We'll also create the stitch lines here. Now I'll make the stitch lines according to my hemline, so you know how to do that. So I'll select my white arrow. Now if you see the down hem part, it consists of, let's say, 1, shift, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll select all these 5 nodes, not the end, not the start, only the ones that are in the lines, in between the lines. Select all these 5, Control C, Control F, and then you have the same thing copied. I can just put stroke, dash lines, let's say 1 dash and 2 cap. or let's say 2 this and 2 1 this, or let's say change it to 4 to 2. Okay, you can always lower the size of the strokes. Duplicate this again and do the same here. So you just have to copy the curve that is there. So if you see, there is no anchor points here in between these two anchor points, so I need one. I'll go to pen tool, add anchor point, place anchor point in the center or wherever the lines are. Not necessarily it has to be in center. Select the anchor point, just the anchor point, because it is connected with this anchor point and it's connected with this anchor point, so it owns these two lines. Select this anchor point, Control C, Control F, bring it down, do little changes here. Select your eyedropper, no need to go and do the dash lines again, just select the eyedropper and click on this. There you have, it's already set. So now I am happy with this. I will also add a cuff. Now to add a cuff, what you can do is I'll remove the sleeve separately, or let's say we are just add the buttons. So I'll just make a simple button here, pressing Alt and Shift so that it's from the center. Okay, I'll just make one and I'll just duplicate this. Stroke should be low. I made one. Alt and copy. Select this three, drag them by pressing Alt, properties, flip them. So basically I'm done with my front. Now what I'll do next is I'll make the back. To make the back, I can just select each and everything. Just hold Alt and copy it. That's it. Remove the buttons. I'll leave it exactly the same like this. I'll just remove the stitch lines. Remove. I'll change the neckline of everything because at the back the neckline is much more high. I'm just doing the alterations. Sleeve, I'll hide them. Maybe I'll send them back once I fill it with color. So we'll make these details now. So it's basically nothing, it's just lines and a curve here. So take your pen tool, make a curve like this. Make small buttons here. I can just create strokes. So now this whole thing plus this whole shift and I copy everything, group them, duplicate them, and use the properties and just flip them. Now you might see that this is intersecting, no worries, because if I color this and this skirt into anything like a white and say that arrange go to front, it's gonna hide everything, whatever the sleeve was behind. If I remove the stroke fill of this particular skirt, you will see it is visible, but if I fill it, it's gonna show. So later we'll do all these changes. Right now I'll keep the skirt more filled. I want to see the details. Now if you see there is a panel here, which means it is center back, cut two pieces, take a pen tool, make a line just in the center. That's it. Now select eyedropper and select the red curve. So yellow, image device. Same I will do stroke here, pen tool. Select the stroke, go to stroke options, profile, and select this. That's it. I'll show you how to make a zipper and a puller later. Now I'll just create one more neckline here. So next stitch line. Okay. I'll select I. Select this here. And it is applied. So I'll make the front and back. I'll go to layers. Then I'll hide this image. So if you remember, we had this image here and where you have locked this. I'll remove the lock. So I'm gonna hide this image, which is this blue square. Now you have a panel which is, I would say, front and back. Now hold all of this, select the stroke, change them into black. Same here, all of this, change the stroke into black. Now I'll select all of this, group them, or right click and group, and just move them. If you remember, we had made this many color options, so I know the Pantones are here. So what I'll do is I'll just move this jacket aside. I'm gonna show you variations, or I would say colorways in a range. So I'm gonna duplicate this thrice, and we have this rectangles. I'm pressing shift and copy and paste in front. Tracking them here. Now let's say I'm gonna color each and everything the same thing. So now select the shape, press I, color this. See what is I color. So same here, select this whole thing, ungroup them, because if I group, see if it is grouped, and if I select the eyedropper and I select this, it's gonna color the whole thing. But no, we want it to color separately. So first ungroup all of them. So if you remember, I had grouped all the bags, so I'm ungrouping all the bags. So I'll select each and every part. Eyedropper, select this. Shortcut A for direct selection. Eyedropper, select this. The details might be hidden. Just select them, arrange, send to back. Arrange, send to back. Okay. You can give it a stroke. Now if you remember, all these strokes are gone because I had copied the color from this square. Now this square doesn't have a stroke, so that is why it doesn't show the stroke here. Now if you see this shape, it has a yellow fill and a black stroke. So just select all of this, eyedropper, select this. A, select the shape, eyedropper, select this. A, this, eyedropper, select this. Now if you see, it is intersecting, right click, arrange, bring to front. See this curve, arrange, bring to front. I will delete all of this because I made so many changes in this. Now I'll place the brings here. So I'll select the sleeve part in this right hand sleeve, select my eyedropper, and let's say like this. Just click that. Let's see, it is being copied now. Select this, I copy this. Now it doesn't have any background, so you know what to do. Control C, Control F, and select eyedropper. This thing, I just selected eyedropper. I copied the skirt colors because we have made two copies. One is gonna go down, so arrange, send to back. Same, Control C, Control F, eyedropper. Select the color that you like. Right click, arrange, send to back. I'll select this same thing, eyedropper. This thing, Control C, Control F, eyedropper. Select the color, arrange, send to back. Now I have a panel or a dress that looks like this. Same I'll do here. Select the sleeves, this thing. Again select the sleeves, eyedropper, this thing. Select the sleeves, Control C, Control F, and eyedropper. Sorry, select that thing, eyedropper this. Arrange, send to back. Same, Control C, Control F, eyedropper. Select the colors, right click, arrange, send to back. Same with the waist, eyedropper, print. Select the waist, Control C, Control F, right click, arrange, send to back, and eyedropper, select. So now I have this thing which is looking like this. Now, if you see, let's just send them backwards. Oh no, the details are hidden, right? The details are getting hidden. So which means these details which are here and here, they have to come in front. So if something happens like this, you can always go to transform and so select that shape, arrange, send backward, arrange, send backward. If you know the shortcut, it's Control plus backward square bracket. I'm gonna press that. Let's see till what time. Okay, let's go till what time, and this is send to back. Select all of this, stitch lines and everything. Arrange, bring to front, and hold this skirt now and say arrange, bring to front one step, and arrange, bring, sorry, send backward one step. That's it. And again arrange, send backward. Sorry. Same I'll do it here because there are, I would say, a straight line, this. So there's a lot of things. So first arrange, send to back, and make sure this thing, the center line, this curve, this, everything is selected. Arrange, bring to front, and select this. I think the back looks fine. I don't have to show the sleeves and the back. It looks fine to me. I'll just keep it the way it is now. Obviously I'll color this also into something like yellow. So selected shape, eyedropper, select this sharp edge. Okay. So now I have a dress which looks like this. So I'll create a copy of this now. Now in this, you just have to select. Let's say I'll put this orange color. Stroke, 2 points, and just change colors. Everything is yellow. Now when I select the sleeve, you'll see it in the layers that this is the thing that has been selected. So I'll select this, I this thing, bring it back. Same, I'll select this, I this thing, bring this back. I'll do it for the belt also. So same thing. So that is as very necessary to create the print and transparent background. We can always change the colors, always edit them. So after this, I have two color options. I'm not going to do the third because you get the idea now. But you can always change the prints in them. So for example, if I want to have a print down, so I'll Control C, Control F the panel, select eyedropper, select the print, and there you have. Same I'll do here. Control C, Control F the skirt, take the eyedropper, select the print, there you have. You can always change the scale. So go to transform, scale. Now make sure transform objects is not checked, only the patterns. And I'll do uniform, and I'll use my mouse cursor to scale difference. If I want it to be huge, the size I want, I think the bigger one looks good. I'll say OK. Select the print file, just select this. So you copy the same exact scaling of the prints. I can always rotate it also. See which one is good. So OK. Select the skirt height, copy this. Now, after everything is made, I'll just select everything, group that. Select the front, group that. And I can just keep it as like this. Range, and different. Or we are presenting work, or you can just keep it like this. This becomes your Pantone. So like this, you can make all your ranges, which looks like this. But I can see, if you see, there's only one dress, but the print and the colors make them look different. This is how you also do range planning. I can also color the buttons. Now I can see that this is a lovely color, so I'll take my eyedropper. So I'm not take eyedropper. I'll change the color to something like say orange. I'll remove the strokes. Now I'll select all of the buttons by pressing and holding shift, and select my eyedropper and click on this one button. See, you get buttons also. Same here. And select only this. Change the fill to, let's say, something like this. It will look nice. Remove the strokes. Now if you see, this is grouped. By how I edit each and everything is by pressing Ctrl and clicking on it. So if I press Ctrl and Shift, I'm going to select only that particular object, even if it is grouped. So yeah, there you go. I have my range plan with my prints. I'll delete this. So this is how my story looks. This is how I'm going to present my work. I can use this. I can use all of these options. And this is how I'm going to create my range plan. But see, You guys need to practice a lot by using pen tools. So I hope this helps. If you have any doubts, I'll see you in the next session. I'm gonna save my document always. Thank you guys. Any doubts? I'll meet you in the sessions online.